Live right now. What's up, guys? So it's Momentum Monday. What's going on? So you already know what it is. So we're gonna be covering a very important topic today, and it's something that it's already within all of us, right? We all have it already, and whether or not you recognize it now or not, it's deep within you. I promise you. So I mainly want to talk about leadership, right? Because leadership, whether or not you see yourself as a leader right now, you're a leader, right? I promise you're a leader. And because for me, for example, right, when it came to leadership, so I was always kind of like, I would say I was waiting for the right moment to really become a leader. I was waiting to have people on my team to finally become a leader, right? I was waiting to finally be in a position like where I'm leading others or leading whatever, or have a massive organization or a massive team to finally call myself a leader, right? But I realized though that I was actually doing myself a disservice because before you can even basically get to that point, you have to step into it already. You have to see it for yourself. And like you have to see it happening for yourself. Before it does for like before anybody else sees it, right? Or even before yo, what's up, Tony? Or even before just like I said, you believe for yourself, right? And so with leadership, because especially with our business, right? We're in the business of leading others. Okay. We're in the business of leading others and making the right decision for their health, for their family, for their friends, for their finances, right? And for their mindset too, for their own mental sake. So with leadership for me, so if you guys could just do me a favor and comment in the chat real quick, and basically just describe to me, like in a couple words, like what does leadership entail, right? Like what is it all like? When you think of leadership, what are some key words that basically come to mind, right? Like whether it's I don't know, it could be anything, right? I mean, whether it's confidence, whether it's posture, whether it's courage, whether it's whatever, right? It could be anything. So I mean, I want to hear from you guys. So like what does leadership entail to you guys, right? So we have Jessica says that it's empowering others to transform their lives for the better, right? I love that. That's amazing. I agree. We leadership is definitely empowering others to transform their lives, right? And so it's and to empower is really it's transferring over like belief in a sense, right? That if that makes sense. That's the way I would describe empower. To empower somebody is being able to transfer over your own personal belief or your belief in them that is possible, right? So you're basically shifting power and you're finally giving somebody power to make a right decision, and because you're leading them, right? It's part of leadership. So Tony says humility, headstrong, that's, hey, right. I agree like 100%, and so like, it's really about, just kind of putting yourself out there, making yourself vulnerable to others and showing people that, look, like we're not perfect, but we're out here trying to make a difference, I mean, like just for me, like, like when I think of leadership, like there's so many things that come to mind, right? There's so many different things, so many different words and stuff, but I mean, just to name a few, like for one, definitely courage, right? To be a leader, it takes courage, it doesn't have to be like unwavering by any means, but it definitely takes courage, and because part of leading others, and actually becoming a leader is really taking that leap of faith and first believing in yourself, right? Believing in yourself that you actually can lead other people, right? Into actually making a right decision, making a lifestyle change, joining your team, so on and so forth, right? But so it's just really about like I said, it's just getting to that point, So we got Kevin saying is guiding people to the right paths, exactly, right? Being a leader is letting people know, like, hey, like I might know something that you don't know yet, so let me guide you in the right direction to where I believe you need to go, and so again, and if we're surrounded with the right people, right? If we're actually investing our time or energy and our resources into the right individuals, then what we actually pass over to them is going to come back full circle, right? Because, we're all in that same frequency in a sense, but for me, like I was saying, so it definitely starts with courage, like, I mean, to be a leader, it takes courage. It takes courage to literally step out of your comfort zone, right? And also too, like a good word that also comes to mind, I would say is for like going back to what Jessica said, it would be empowerment, right? It's about empowering others And also with empowerment also becomes like, it kind of ties in with influence, right? And this is something I also want to address too, because influence in general, like just that word, like I know it has both positive and negative connotations, right, when it comes to what it means and what it means to influence others, and so on and so forth, right? But without influence, you can't really lead somebody, right? If without the ability to actually develop influence, you really can't put yourself in a position to lead others, right? Because that's what part of actually being a leader is, right? It's being able to develop the right influence and letting people and guiding people know that and this is why let's go. Hey, and Daniel too, so you actually inspired me, bro, to actually want to address this too, because I know how strongly you feel about this, and but it's like, but I think we need to understand, right, that like there's like I said, there's positive influence and then there's negative influence, right? Because we all know that just by growing up, right? Surrounding yourself with the wrong people, that's negative influence, right? Surrounding yourself with the right people, that's positive influence in your life, right? Or whether it's joining a new group, taking a class, taking a course, whatever it is, right? But like, so the point I'm trying to make though is that without influence, you really can't become a leader, right? And so, but when it comes to influence though, your intentions definitely have to be in the right place, right? And it's just like Jordan Belfort even talks about, for example, straight line persuasion, right? I mean, to influence is to also persuade somebody, right? It's basically persuading somebody and influencing them to adopt your beliefs, your ideologies, your vision, your philosophies, right? Whatever it is. But it's so it's all that ties in together, right? So but for example though, so I'm talking about just being able to, that word used to make me cringe too. Growth came too strong. Right. Seriously. That's exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So a lot of people definitely have like, I would say not a misunderstanding, but it's just like, we just need a broader spectrum when it comes to that word. Right. So sorry, excuse me. Cause like, like for me, for example, like say, cause like, well, this is going back to what Jordan Belfort was like, talks about, like straight line persuasion, that's really developing influence over people. But he even talks about ethics, right? It's like, because we don't want to get people to do things they shouldn't do, buy things they shouldn't buy, and just join things they shouldn't join, right? If it's not in their best interest, right? So, but if once we have the proper intentions, right, and then we start developing that influence in that area, guys, we can really get people to do extraordinary things, right? We can get people to actually do things that are in their best interest. We can get people to do things that are good for them, and we can get people to actually join our team, right? Because as we know, this is the life-changing opportunity, and what we have going on here is extremely special, and so this is something that that we truly believe everybody should be part of, right? And so, but in order to actually get to that point of having a team, we have to develop influence, right? Because when we develop influence, then we become a leader. Okay, so, but I guess the main point that I also want to address too is that we need to start doing that now, though. So, for example, like I was just talking to Kevin about this before everybody hopped on, is like that, because for me, like I went through a major shift, right? Mentally, I went through a major mental shift. I would say a few months back, right? This was like probably like, I don't know, maybe half a year ago. And I went through a major mental shift where I realized that, hey, if I ever plan or expect on having a huge team all over the world, a massive organization, right? 100,000 distributors under me, right? Just global team, right? If I ever expect to get to that point, then obviously I have to become a leader, right? But so for me, I was always kind of waiting for that opportunity where, okay, you know what? I have all these people on my team now. Now it's time for me to become a leader. Now it's time for me to start doing this, to start doing that. Now it's finally time for me to start being a leader, right? But no, it starts when the amounts are small, right? This is something I got from Jim Rohn, right? Jim Rohn talks about it starts when the amounts are small. So for example, like if you only have one person on your team, two people on your team, nobody on your team, right? The point is though, you are on your team, right? So you have to lead yourself every single day, to actually step into a new role, right? To step into that leadership position, that leadership role, right? But it starts when the amounts are small. So for example, if you have nobody in your organization right now, that's all the reason to start studying leadership. That's all the reasons to start practicing and developing your skills in that area, so when that time does come, you're ready, right? You're ready because you know what? Because opportunity came knocking, and that the doors of opportunity are only open for those who knock, and you knock because you're ready, right? And this also goes back to what even Les Brown talks about. Like I rather be prepared. I'd rather be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than have an opportunity and not be prepared, right? So for me, so that mental shift that I had to go through, I was like, okay, you know what? I don't have a huge team yet. I don't even have like 2 people on my team or 1 person or 3 people, whatever. But you know what, though? I need to start developing my skills now so I can actually influence people, right? To actually join my team because it's the right move, I mean, because the product's it's the right product, it's the right company, and I'm the right person, right? And it's like it's really just getting to that point, instilling that belief in yourself, which is why I even talked about it starts with courage, because leadership, guys, it takes courage to believe in yourself, that's something that I've even gone through too. It takes tremendous amount of courage. It takes tremendous amount of faith, and just belief, right? And vision, vision is being able to see something that's there before it's even created, right? And that's part of having faith, and really believing in the process, trusting the process, believing in your capabilities and your own abilities, right? And being able to really, like I said, step into that role when that time comes, right? So, again, I'm talking about leadership because we're all leaders, right? Every single one of us on this call right now, we are all leaders, and but it's really just it's getting to that point where we're owning that. We're owning that role every single second of the day, right? I'm talking about like it goes down to little decisions, right? It's really just stepping up and just owning it, right? At that moment of time, it's yours. You're the one, and it's like and it has to be that way. So for me, I started diving. That's why I started diving heavily into personal development. I started reading books on leadership, on entrepreneurship and network marketing and stuff like that. Even though I wasn't a pro yet, and I wasn't a leader yet, and like in my eyes, right? But it's like I was preparing myself, right? What I was doing I was basically bringing awareness to that area of my life that I was neglecting or lacking before, right? And the amazing part is that once we do this, what begins to happen is that once we start bringing awareness to other areas of our life where maybe we didn't see possible before, is basically starts creating like the almost like the circuits in your brain to start like basically hardwiring all that stuff to actually start happening in your life, right? To actually start manifesting, because now you're bringing awareness to it, which means that you're raising your consciousness of it, right? And so that means now you're making it possible in your world, okay? And so once you make it something, once you have a fixed vision on something and actually it becomes possible to you, like mentally, right? Then you can actually bring that to fruition eventually, but it starts from up here, So that's why I'm talking about leadership, because, so we need to start, close to like, if you haven't started, like, I would say reading books on leadership, going to courses on leadership, listening to public speakers, podcasts, whatever it is on leadership, now's a great time, and it's, and if you feel like, hey, you know what, if you're in a position where, you know what, I don't even feel like I'm even worthy to be a leader, or I'm not even there yet, then that's all the reason to do it, because it's, because now's the time, now's the time so like I was saying, because you know what, the right people are actually going to come into your life, right? Because we're all doing the necessary steps to really start attracting all of that, right? And so we're all putting in the work, but now we want to prepare ourselves, right? So when those right people come, remember I was talking about how this leads back to what I was saying last week about how we can never say the right things to the wrong person, but we can definitely say the wrong things to the right person if we're not prepared, right? So meaning that we gotta get prepared now, so when those right people, when these right people do come into our lives, we're ready, right? We know what to say, we know how to say it, we know where to guide them, we know where to send them, we know where to add them, we know who to get them connected with, we know how to do 3-way calls, we know how to do everything, and we know. But the most important thing is that we've actually developed influence now, so we can get these people to believe in what we're doing. So we can get these people to believe in into our ideologies and our philosophies, right? But so that's why when it comes to leadership, it can go. There's so many things that are like fall into it, right? But it really but the main thing that stick out to me is really, like I said, is really just like empowerment, and then like an influence, right? So And then see, Jessica's talking about John C. Maxwell. Hey, John C. Maxwell, yes, right. John C. Maxwell, a lot. Most of what I learned about leadership, I've gotten from John C. Maxwell, guys. If you don't know who John Maxwell is, I highly encourage you guys to look up his books. The first book I ever read from him was Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. Right, that book's phenomenal. Okay, if you want to start with the Good Leadership book, start with that one. Right, Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. Right. By John C. Maxwell. That was a great book. I also love his book, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Amazing book, guys. That one, it's like leadership 101, right? It's like it gives you everything you need to know about leadership, like within one book, but it obviously goes on from there, right? I mean, leadership, it never ends. There's so many books on it. There's so many different angles that you can approach when it comes to leadership, right? So, but yeah, John C. Maxwell is definitely he's definitely one of the great ones. I know Simon Sinek too. If you guys know who Simon Sinek is, he's also a great author and a great mentor when it comes to leadership, But there's so many greats, right? Jim Rohn, guys, leadership for days, yo. You feel me? Like, he's one of my, like, honestly, like, all-time favorite mentors still to this day, So, but. So leadership, and so that's the main focus of like what I want to address like for tonight, because this is something that, since it's Monday, the start of a new week, right? Guys, like literally we have a few days left of this month. August is almost over. We're rolling into September. So start developing your leadership now. Start developing your influence now. Start developing all that stuff now. So when the time comes, like I said, you're ready, right? And so, but it's really about like I said, owning up to like even these titles, right? Of being a leader, being an influencer, whatever if you want to call yourself that, whatever it may be, guys. But at the end of the day, though, it's like you have to be comfortable with like being able to basically say, yeah, hey, like I strive to influence people. I strive to be a leader, but it's only because your intentions are right there, they're pure, and you're really looking out for people's best interests, right? And so once you get to that mental shift, right, you start to you find pride in that. You find pride in becoming a leader. You find pride in being able to develop the right amount of influence over people to empower them to make the right decision, right? You find pride in that, guy, because you know what, you should be proud, right? Because it takes energy, it takes effort, it takes commitment, it takes all that stuff, right, to actually get to that level, to actually get people to follow you and do the right things, right, that are in their best interest and your best interest, So real fast, like, anybody want to comment in the chat, like what's like I don't know, anything so far that maybe stood out to you the most, or what's one thing about leadership that maybe that you kind of been working on, or maybe you've been focused on? Like, have you been focused on leadership? Have you been focused on like developing influence? Like, what's your view on leadership, right? Like, how do you guys feel about it? Do you guys do you feel proud about being a leader? Do you look forward to be like stepping into that influence, to an influence role, to be able to get people to do the right things? Like when it comes to leadership, do you have, or influence, do you have a positive or a negative view on it? It's like I don't know, just give me some ideas real quick. I want to know where you guys are sitting. True that, bro. Hey, and just to address real quick, dude. So Daniel's over here doing big things too. He's over here dropping some fire articles now. And that's actually great stuff. Because that's giving people a great insight on your life, right? And because writing articles, right, like it's different. It's a much better insight on like the mind and how it works, right? But he's talking about this, like, anyways. So going back to the military, right? Dude, because like I was reading your, like, it's crazy, bro. And but it's like, because even that too, like they have their own form of leadership, right? It's like I say, like leadership's everywhere, right? It's in every business, it's in every organization, it's in every team, it's everywhere, right? But it's like, it's really just about like it's really about becoming the right leader, and like I said, getting people to do things that they should do, and really just if you're looking to help people, right? But so I mean, but like I said, guys, so because in my opinion, right, until we start developing like influence, until we start developing leadership and being able to empower people, like you will not be able to get people to actually to join the team, right? To join your team, because, you know, if you can't develop the right amount of influence, you know, to even get people to watch a video, you know, to join a Facebook group, to hop on a webinar, to do this and that, to get on a phone call, you know, whatever. Because when you get people to agree with you, that's a form of influence, right? That's a form of a leadership, right? Because you're getting them to agree with you, right? And so because now you're guiding them in the right direction, you know. So, but it definitely takes a lot. So Kevin said, I look forward to becoming a leader of my future team, you know. But I want to learn how to become more resourceful, right? So, and right, you know, so which is why, like, it's important now, Kevin, to start really diving into leadership, you know, read books on it, you know, listen to podcasts, like I said, attend events, seminars, and stuff like that. So it's like you know, like, how to become a leader, you know, how to lead people, you know what it takes, you know the level of integrity, right? You know like all the elements that kind of come together to be a good leader, right? To be a great leader, to be like a superb leader, you know, like it's just getting to that next level, right? So, and how to become resourceful, right? I mean, like, yeah, that's like, I mean, that's part of it too, you know, like, because, you know, good leaders like know, you know, how to utilize their time, their energy, their resources, you know, all that stuff in the most efficient amount of time possible, you know. And so, and like, obviously, like I said, like there's so many ways like to even like start diving into it, but, you know, it really starts with like with books, you know, personal development, and because you have to adopt the mindset yourself, right? Because I could sit here all night and just go on and talk about leadership, talk about influence, talk about how important it is, right? But it's like until you make that mental click in your head, and that we make that mental connection, like, yo, this is what I really need to do. This is the person I truly need to become, you know, in order to actually have a huge network marketing team, right? To have a huge organization under you, right? But like I said, it's really about stepping into that role before it's even there, right? And this leads back to being a visionary, right? Having faith, you know, and believing in something and seeing it happen before it's even there, right? So, like, just because I never wanted to be a leader, even when I joined in Magic, it's so easy to just let Ricky take the lead. But I'm learning how important it is to be self-sufficient and not rely on your upline for anything, even if you're so, even if it's so okay, and this requires becoming a leader, right? You know, that's actually a great point, you know, because I remember when I first started too, like, I was so okay, and that's a good point. How, like, this how she says, wait, what? That's what that means, Andrea. Even if it, so, oh, okay, cool. That's what I was thinking too. Okay, but it's like, because for me, like, for example, like, it's like, it's kind of easy to really just like kind of pass off, like, okay, you know what, like, because when you're first getting started, you know, you're like, okay, well, I'm just getting started, I don't know too much, so let me just, like, you know, pass off to my upline always, right? Which is what you have to do in the beginning to even, like, you know, to get rolling first. But it doesn't mean that you can't already adopt a mindset, that it doesn't mean that you can't already start developing your mindset to one day become independent, you know, to one day not have to even you know, use a three-way call, because you can close your own deals, you know, because you have that credibility, that influence you have already developed, you know. And so, like, what she's talking about, you know, it's like it's important to become self-sufficient, right? Because, you know, like, for example, my goal for all you guys, right, is like, yeah, don't get stuck in that beginner mindset, right? You have to start like you have to start diving into like the action phase, the learning, and you also don't want to get stuck in the learning phase either, right? Because like, you don't want to get stuck in the beginner mindset. You don't want to get stuck in the learning phase, because like you want to like do all of that, but still, like, you know, keep taking action, right? Keep putting yourself in a position where you can influence somebody, where you can be the leader at that time, right? And you know, and the best place to get stuck is in the doing phase. Exactly, right? Keep taking action, you know, and just reach out to more people, right? But, you know, and so it's like, if I were to define it, I would probably say leadership is the ability to develop others mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I love that. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. It's huge, guys. To create an environment that builds trust and confidence. Let's go. This ultimately develops respect, right? No organic and good intention influence can be had without respect. Exactly, right? And so, and respect comes, and that's all part of, like, rebuilding a relationship, right? Letting people letting people know how much you care, right? And like all that ties in, you know, because obviously, like, if like I don't like you, if I don't respect you, of course, like, you know, when it comes to influence and leadership, all that goes out the window, right? So it does start with it definitely starts with respect for sure, you know. And so it's really getting to that point. It's just like Daniel said, of really to being able to develop others mentally, physically, and spiritually, and really letting them know, like, hey, like, you can do this, right? This is possible, right? Keep going, you know, like, we can do this. Let's keep going, you know. And it's like that's really what it takes, you know. So creating an environment that builds trust and confidence, because without trust, you know, like, I mean, obviously, like, without trust, there's no relationship at all, right? There's no trust, there's nothing, there's no bonding, there's no connection, there's nothing, right? It's like there's nothing. And so it's and then also confidence, right? Confidence in where you're going, the people you're with, your with your own team, with your own leadership going on, you know, all that stuff, you know. And so it does develop respect. Exactly. So respect, sorry. But yeah, hey, I love it, dude. That's awesome, man. So but it's like, you know, so and it's just like it's like I said, so for me, like in the beginning, so because like I said, my goal, guys, is to really get you guys as like independent for me as possible, right? Like, but it's like not to the point where it's like, yo, like, don't call me or whatever like that. But it's like it's getting to the point where like you guys like get to the point where you're your own leader now, and it's like you can actually start building your own organization, right? Because and then that's all part of becoming self-sufficient, you know. And it's like, but of course, you know, like, still leverage the system at all times, you know, still do 3 calls and this and that. But it's like, but my goal is to make you all independent leaders too, you know, like, all of us, guys, all of us like are gonna get to that point where it's like we're doing our own trainings, right? We're training our own teams and doing this and that, you know, because we developed the right amount of just basically, well, I mean, we built a strong relationship, right? We developed the amount of rapport, you know, we created trust, right? We've basically like acquired respect, you know, mutual respect between the relationship, you know. And then it's like it gets to the point where, hey, people are gonna listen to you now, because for one, they know how much you care, they know you respect them, they know you have integrity, they know you're genuine, they know you're out to help them, you know. And so of course, like, now everything you say is going to help to influence them in the right direction they need to go, you know. So but yeah, that's awesome. Does anybody want to come out and like maybe say anything about like leadership, you know, anything at all? Anybody want to speak on that? I know this, like, I know we all feel strongly about this for sure. So but if not, you know, hey, it's cool.
I mean, we kind of just said in the chat, right?
Right. But I mean, just you want to like just like expand on that even more. Like, I mean, like okay, it's like, for example, like for you, Jessica, like, what do you like? What type of leader are you hoping to become? Right? Like, what type of like characteristics, what type of like attributes are you wishing to develop so you can be that leader that you have in your head, that you have envisioned for yourself? You know, like, what is it gonna have to take for you to get there?
Um, like repetition. What do you mean, like qualities of myself that I want, or?
Yeah, right. Like, maybe ones that your strong qualities you have now, you know, like what do you have now that does make you a strong leader? And like, is there something that you're lacking right now that you're or that you're developing, that you're currently working on to actually to become a better leader?
Yeah, I guess I kind of lack like transparency. When you like right when you said that, I'm like, oh, that's what I lack. You know, like I have a hard time, I guess, like letting everybody know, like not like the real story, but like kind of like the hard. You know, you never really share the kind of bad things that happen. You know, on like Instagram or whatever. I mean, some people do. Some people share everything. You know, positives, negatives, everything or whatever. But I tend to kind of keep it more like, you know, positive. And my whole intention with that is like, okay, you put good things out into the world and you'll get good things back. But at the same time, like Daniel said, we're trying to develop that level of respect too, and that level of trust. And so when people can see, yeah, you do. I'm just kidding. And when people can see, you know, that you're a human and that you have like, you know, ups and downs and trials and tribulations as well, they'll probably more than likely trust everything else that you say, you know, or most likely. It'll just be easier to develop that influence over them when they know that you're being genuine and that you're not coming off as like this fake happy person all the time, you know?
Right. And that's huge, you know, because that all leads back to authenticity, right? Letting people know you're real. Because I mean, honestly, if someone doesn't feel like you're real, if they don't feel like they can trust you, if you know, if none of that's there, you know, like this, the friendship, the relationship, the possibility, the bit, you know, all that stuff is like food culture. You know, it's like it just goes out the window. You know. But yeah, so that was awesome, Jessica. Thanks for sharing. So and then like as of right now, like what's the necessary steps that you're taking to overcome that challenge you have?
Well, I guess I haven't yet. I mean, well, no, that's not true. So more
What are you
personally when
planning?
I'm talking to people. So I guess like what I have done is that like I'll open up to people more in the DMs, you know, and I'll talk
Right.
about more like the bad or like not the bad, but like the stuff that I don't really share on my story, you know, like I don't know, work related things like I don't know, just certain things that I'll share with people in my DMs now, and I'm becoming a little more like open or honest about rather than like you know kind of being more private. But I need to take that to like stories, you know. I need to take that to like, hey world, life's shitty right now, but we're gonna make it through, you know, blah blah blah, and you know, just let everybody know that like shit's happening, but I'm staying strong, you know, because that also like develops like or just gives off a sense of like I guess confidence in them, you know, and they feel more comfortable with me, you know.
Right.
I
Right.
don't know. They're more like, yeah, you can be vulnerable, like I can be cool with
Right.
you. I don't know.
Exactly. And that's true because you know, like for example, a lot of things that you're going through, you know, like somebody else is probably going through the same thing, right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
so when they hear you talking about it, they're like, "Oh fuck!" Like it's instant rapport, you know. And they're like, they connect with you. They see how real you are because you're actually sharing something that they would never go public with. They would
Yeah.
never go tell the world about, you know. And so that right there, see, that's empowering them at the so that right there is literally passing over influence and empowering them to actually like maybe like do the same, right? But
Hmm.
it's only because now that mutual respect is there, right? That's the bridge, right? That's the bridge. Respect is definitely the bridge to like of you know what I'm saying. So it has to be there, you know. So I definitely agree with Daniel when it comes to respect in general, right? So but yeah, and then but that's that's huge, all right. It's really about taking necessary steps, you know, putting yourself out there more, letting people know that you're authentic, you're real, you're genuine, you know, and that hey, you know, like my life isn't perfect, you know, I'm just like you know, like you know what I'm saying. So that's awesome. I love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing that, Jessica. I appreciate you.
Thank you
um
for
but
calling me out.
anytime. I know. I mean, they shop it on. That was great for sure. See, and then just even this for now, like copping on and sharing like what you think. You know, like it's just like a lot of people can't even do this either, right? Like even with it only like whether it's like 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, it's like it's just hard for us to sometimes speak our minds to the fullest. You know. But the easiest thing that I found to do that I found that we can do is honestly speak our truth. You know, and so, it's not always easy because some people don't like it, but it's part of being real. It's part of being genuine. It's part of being authentic, being able to speak our truth, and so, but yeah, so I mean, just, it definitely gets easier. It definitely gets easier. And Daniel too, you're actually like proof of that, bro. Like I've seen your growth in your videos, man. I was just talking about this with Jessica the other day. Like, dude, you sound much more like, dude, much more confident on the camera, much more relaxed now. You're shifting with your tonalities now,
Hmm.
it's like because now you're becoming more comfortable, and actually being able to speak, it's like, but it's the act of doing, and so that's huge, bro. And people who started watching you from the beginning are gonna see that. They're gonna see your growth, and they're like, dang, dude, this guy down is relentless, bro, not giving up. And it's inspiring them, dude. It's gonna inspire them. It's gonna empower them to start doing the same, right? Or to even hit you up, reach out for advice, for help, whatever it is, so but it definitely gets easier, and so but the more we put ourselves out there and we put ourselves in a position to where we have to do that, right? Because remember, if it makes you uncomfortable, if it makes you uncertain, if it's unknown to you, good, right? That means you're headed in the right direction, right? That means you're because now you're actually you're giving energy to like new experiences, right? Because it's new to you, it's unknown to you, right? You don't know what's gonna happen, but you have all of this like expendable energy just to go out, so which is huge, guys. And then I'm actually gonna post this on my story right now too, yo. If you guys haven't posted our tonight's training, now's a good time, just say like, yo, we out here. um what are you gonna do? I really believe that before I was speaking behind all those things, I was hiding from everyone. Now it's all out there and it's easy to be like, let's talk. Yes, exactly. And it's because like And so that's the thing, because now, because you're letting people into your life. So for example, you know, when they reach out to you or you reach out to them, you get on a phone call with them, they already know like what's up with Daniel. They know what type of person Daniel is, you know, like it already creates trust, it creates respect, you know, just by simply like by doing that alone, you know. And so just like you said, like it's like it's just, you know, it's hard at first, you know, but once you do it, like you because like because you start attracting people into your life, because now you're out there, you know, you're in the playing field, you know, you're showing your face, you're talking to people and stuff like that. So it's like it's definitely going to come back around, you know, full circle, right? And it's just going to like help you grow, help you develop, you know. And you know, like, because you know, like, just by doing that, guys, like by doing like videos and stuff on Snapchat, on Instagram, talking to the camera, you know, it was weird in the beginning, right? Like I have videos saved when I first started that are super awkward. You know, Jessica's laughing because she knows she's seen them. You know,
Those
she's seen.
memories, those Snapchat memories come.
I'm like, who is that dude? You know, like, it's crazy. No tonality. No, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, like yo, like, I gotta show y'all like in like 2 weeks, y'all, because you're gonna flip out. You're gonna be like, who is that guy?
Show
Because
them like one of your first ones.
I'm going to, you know, but that's what it takes, guys. Like, it was awkward for me in the beginning, you know, but it's like, you know, the more I did it, you know, the better I got, the more comfortable I became, you know, and eventually I found my comfort zone, right? And just by doing that, that put me into a position where now I can do training calls. Now I can speak to more people at once, you know. Now I feel comfortable like speaking to multiple people in person at once, you know. Because I started when it was small, you know. I started when it wasn't nothing crazy, you know, like. So by doing it now, so Daniel, dude, you're off to a great start, bro, because you're being consistent too. That's the thing, because like we can pop up, you know, like it's Monday, what's up, what's good, you know, show our face, then disappear till Friday, you know. That's, I mean, you know, that's kind of weird, right? We want to be consistent, and so the more you do it too, it becomes easier. So the fact that you're being consistent with it is you're literally building trust from afar. You're bridging respect from afar, you know, and it's literally just by showing your face more, you know, like, it's crazy. So, but I love that, you know. So, but the whole point too, guys, like, I just so like, even going back to like the influence culture, like, I mean, that doesn't, you know, that's just like something that's like happening mainstream right now. But don't let that, like, I just like don't let the main, like, that part fool you into thinking like influencing people is bad, because it's not. As long as our integrity is there, as long as our intentions are pure, you know, and we truly want to help others. But developing influence, you know, and really just to develop influence, right, and really just being able to become a leader, like, it's totally all part of it, you know. I really believe that. Before I was speaking, oh no, it's the same one. Sorry. Oh, I'm taking them. Well, I'm taking them down. Hey, true. See, and I'm with you on that part, bro, because of the people who are out there just being who aren't genuine, who are really trying to, like, I guess, scam people in a sense, right? Because they're really, because there is a culture out there. Don't get me wrong. There's a culture out there who are scamming people, and they're trying to believe, like, you know, but it's because their intentions aren't pure, you know, like, they're not being genuine with their approach, right? They're in it for the Lamborghini rentals and paid for models going down. Exactly. And that happens a lot. And that's the thing, because so many people are on Instagram, and so they see that and they think that's somebody's reality, right? Not even knowing that this person could be even paying for their likes, they could be paying for their cars, they could be paying for their models, this and that, creating this false scenario of, like, that's not even real, right? So it's like, so that right there, I am against, right? So Daniel, I'm with you, bro. Trust me, dude. Like, you know, because, like, that's not genuine, that's not real, right? So it's like, and it's giving people false hope, false belief, right? And like, so yeah, dude. So I'm
Or
with you.
people out there who are like selling a dream, like Rob said, like that one network marketing company or whatever, like
Right.
posting like these amazing views, Miami, this, that, whatever, like this amazing lifestyle.
It's true.
And the company that they're with isn't very, legit. So
Right.
that's also part of that culture, I think.
Exactly.
There's different types of influence cultures out there, but I don't
There is.
think that those should, tarnish the name entirely, because influence can
Exactly.
be so like beautiful.
Right.
For it.
I like that. Influence could be so beautiful, you know, because it is an art, you know, and it's like, oh
I
God,
mean,
don't even start
everybody
on
here
Forex.
was influenced by Ricky. Like all of us, whether you like it or not, like you were influenced by Ricky to invest into your unit, myself included. Like so. and none of us are shitting on him for that. None of us hate him for that. You know, none of us are like, yeah, kinda. I mean, you had that respect thing built,
Nah.
and then, you know, and then you got the machine. You wouldn't have done it if you didn't, like, you know, if he didn't actively try. Like it or not,
That's
Daniel, you
true.
were on his prospect list.
You were on my board, bro, for months.
You were on that board right there.
My
I'm just
board,
saying,
dog. That's the board,
right there.
bro.
I'm just
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he said. I needed
But
a
that's what I'm
distributor
saying. Like,
ID.
none of it is like, do you hate him for that? I don't hate
Oh,
him for
so it
that.
wasn't
You
me,
know?
Daniel. Is that what you're saying, bro?
It
It wasn't
wasn't
me,
me.
bro. I see you, bro. I see you. Nah, but you know it's true though, guys, because like you know it's like and for everybody. Hey, I love you too, bro. You already know, man. Much love all the way, dude. But it's really and that's because like I truly had good intentions for you guys, right? I truly, even to this day, I still believe this was the right decision, right? I never needed to get on the list. Honestly, I'm like I didn't even have a list yet made before when Kevin bought his, Joe. That was crazy. I was like Kevin, bro. I'm like you are my list, bro. Like what are you talking? Like you're my list right now. Gee, you're the only one. Let's go. But you know, so it's like, but yeah, guys, you know, and it's really like when we build that relationship, guys, when we're reaching out to people, you know, we're doing it in their own best interest, right? Because we truly believe it's the best move for them. I reached out to all you guys, and I kept following up. I kept sending information. I set up calls and all this stuff because I truly cared, you know. Jess, you're on his list. Wait a minute, Jess, you're on his list, Dan. Oh. What? I'm confused. Wait, you're on his list,
I'm
Dan?
confused too.
I don't get it, Dan. Don't confused. Wait, made me feel special. Oh yeah, bro, you was on the list, man. Hey, all you guys were though. So wait, well, yeah. Well, I mean, in the beginning though, I didn't even have a list though. I wasn't as organized as I am now, to be honest. But we influence to empower.
Typing that before he was typing, so.
Hey, true. I was typing that before he was typing. That's awesome. I'm about to tag y'all in this boomerang I got going on. But you know, it's
No, I should have bought before Kevin. Technically, I think that's where I was on the list, but financially, I just didn't have it. You know.
financially, I just didn't have it. It just wasn't.
Kevin's like, I got a whole lot of savings, and I was like, savings? You're saving?
True.
Kevin kind of inspired me to start saving.
Honestly, I'm like, bro, I'm like, dude, tell me Jess was on the list. I mean, well, I mean, she was always on the list because it was like from like the start that she was gonna like you know like join the business too. So
That's what I just addressed.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But all right, I'm posting this. Hopefully it posts. Cool. But yeah, you know, so it's like his face, a little emoji. It's so funny. But you know, it's but you know, it's just like guys. So like I said, it's really having the right mindset. Because once you have the right mindset, going into any situation, going into any deal, any interaction, any phone call, like getting that cleared up and out the way. That hey, like you know what? Yes, I'm trying to influence you, but it's for your own good. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it for your own good. I know you need this. I know it's gonna help you. You know, I know you can afford it, right? You're not gonna go broke over it or whatever, right? It's like, you know, it's just about getting to that level, guys. You know, but you know, remember we have to recognize though the fake influence culture, right, versus like you know the realness, right, and really like just straying away from that, you know, and having our intentions pure, right, really wanting to help people because that's gonna shine through every single time, you know. So yeah, I mean that was really like what I wanted to cover today. It was mainly the focus of just on leadership because for the rest of the week, guys, rest of the days to come, like really just dive into it, you know, dive into leadership, dive into personal development books about influencing, empowerment, like all that stuff, you know, because it's definitely needed, you know, like in the long run, right? And then eventually, guys, I promise you, you're gonna pride yourself in being able to get people to do things that they should do, you know. Because like I said, it's a skill, it's an art that can be learned, right? But only if used for the good. Only use it for the good, right? Which we are doing, of course, because we have the best product, number one product in the world, right? With the best company in the world, we have the best team in the world, right? And we're all focused, we're all hungry, right? We all want it, and we all know that we're after that better life, you know, for ourselves, for our family. You know, we're after freedom, you know, we're after time, we're after all that stuff, so we can have more of ourselves to give back, you know, and to live the life we want, all that stuff. So, but other than that, guys, like I said, sheesh, excellent training. Let's go. Let's lead this world. Exactly. Let's lead. I like that too. See, that right there is also part of being a leader. we, us, you know, all that stuff, guys. You know, it's letting people know that we're in this together. You know, you're not in this alone, right? From the start, I told each of you guys, right, you're in business for yourself, but never by yourself, right? And that's till this day. That's it's true, guys. You know, we have a team, we have a family, guys, and you know, like I'm super thankful for all you guys. You know, like you guys inspire me every single day. You know, to keep moving forward, to keep pushing. You know, to keep growing, keep learning. You know, keep working on my skills, right? So I can have more of me to give back to you. You know, so all that definitely gets me excited. So thank you guys. You know, I do appreciate it. But yeah, so that is really all I had to cover today. You know, so focus on leadership for the rest of the week to come. You know, focus on you know, like all that stuff. When it comes to like, you just have to start developing the skill set now. Start hardwiring your brain now, you know, to prepare yourself for when that time comes, right? Because I promise you, the right people are out there and they're waiting for you, guys. They're waiting for you. I promise you. That's the way I feel. I feel like the people out there are waiting for me to step up and own like what I need to do, right? And so, you know, the world's waiting, guys, right? They're waiting on us. You know, it's up to us, you know, to change lives, change families, you know, for all of us, right? For the world, for the economy, for the environment, you know, everything, guys. So, you know, but it starts with us and it starts with leadership, you know. So become that leader, you know, that you can definitely be proud of and that you can definitely boast about, and just really just take pride in, right? So, yeah, guys. So with that being said, so I'm actually gonna end this recording right now. So thank you all for hopping on.